Okay, how's it going? So today gonna be doing the what is that called? Pomodoro clock, I think, right? By Codecamp thing. This one here. Now I'm not gonna follow the whole process thingy, but I'll show you how to actually do it so you get the understanding. I don't normally like to do those step-by-step things because I mean you have to naming convention have to be exactly the same, and then they want you to do it exactly the way kind of I just look at the functionality. Like what I do is I look at the functionality and I say, okay, does functionality match what we have in here? And then quickly read through the thing just to make sure that I have all the things checked. And then I'm pretty much good to go, you know? Okay. So we'll put this in here. Also, I will link in the description below. I already have some pre-made HTML, which are pretty much just buttons. When you think about them, they're just like buttons. They're very easy to create, so you can spend time creating them yourself or just copy and paste it, you know? Because I mean, it's very, very simple. You see, like, that's the layout pretty much. You need to create cycles. This is span, status, this is span, 2 buttons, display with strings inside, work, which is h1 div, right? Then you have your this is span, this is span, this is span, right? 5 for work. That's your 2 buttons, and then you can just like spend time doing this on your own, and then naming conventions, you can call them whatever you want, or you can just use my ones. And also I'll copy and paste this thing in here as well. That's targeting every single one of them manually. You see, there's no kind of brains involved doing this because it's just tedious work, right? So I just like to copy and paste it because it's too easy to do. Like for this exercise, I'm assuming that you already know how to target elements in your HTML, right? So WM is work minute, WS is work second, break minute, break second, right? So that's the way it's gonna be. Now, if there's gonna be like massive demand, and you tell me, hey, Dimitri, I want you to do it from the start, I mean, I'll do it, no problem. But I mean, it's very repetitive and tedious work, so I just don't like doing it. I just like to focus on logic, so you will see how the programming works in the back end, as opposed to just like creating buttons. You know what I mean? Okie dokes. So let us start. Okay, so first of all, we need to make sure that the buttons do not have upper limits, right? So for example, when a person clicks this button, it has to add 2 minutes, and it should not go over, let's say, 5 minutes, okay? And then it should not go lower than 0 minutes, because you cannot have a 0 timer, okay? Break minutes exactly the same, so it should not go over 3 minutes, and it should not go lower than 0 minutes. All right, so let's do that first. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna create function work minute plus, right? Now we need to create an if condition, right? If, and now we need to target work minute inner HTML. So we want to target this here. So if work minute, no, whoopsie, inner HTML is equal to 5, right? Actually, we can just do 5 like this. Then we need to alert. So alert will pop up in here and tell you, hey, this is like no more than 5 minutes. This is max. Else, work minute inner HTML add, right? Plus plus. I'm assuming you know what plus plus is, but like you can do this as well, right? Equals +1. This is exactly the same as this. This is just a shortcut. It's a lot quicker to do it this way. Okay, so now we need to add this function to this button here. So we need to find work minute plus button. There it is, work minute plus button. And then we do on click equals, and then run this thing in here. So just copy and paste it into it. Okay. So now you see it alerts, no more than 5. This is max. Okay. Now let's do the same for minus. So we need to do function, we call this work minute minus. So this will be 0, right? So if it's equal to 0, alert 0 is minimum. Whatever, guys, you do the spelling, okay? And then else minus minus. All right. Now we need to connect this to here. The way we do that is on click equals work minute minus. All right. So we're running this function in here. Okay. So you see now this is adding, this is minusing in here. So this alerts, now let's try 0, alerts. Okay, cool. Now let's do break. It's literally exactly the same code, so let's just copy and paste it. You can do it manually if you, I mean, like, it's, and we need to change W to B because it's, everything is, B stands for break, W stands for work. And of course we need to connect it again. So on click equals to plus on click equals to break minute minus. And let's change 5 to 3. The rest should be the same. So now this should do, yeah, okay, you see? Okay. Okay, so this is out of the way. We don't need to think about this anymore. So now we need to do start and stop, right? So when you click this button, it should change to start or pause. We already targeted the button, I'm assuming, right? Yeah, this is main button. Main button. Add event listener, right? On click, so we're gonna be clicking this, and it's gonna run the function, and we call this start stop. Whoops. So now we create function, start stop. This is this function here. Start stop, okay. So now this is gonna be a bit difficult because the way I'm doing it is I'm doing it in a single button. You can do it in 2 buttons, but I'll do it in a single button. Again, if you're not happy with something, just let me know in the description below and I'll redo it for you, you know? Okay. If main button inner HTML equals to start, then, so when you click it, we want to change inner HTML to pause. Alright. And then we want to have start timer run another function every second. So this is how the timer runs the function thing. So this is going to be start timer. This is this variable here. Equals set interval. And then we want to run a new function, which we're gonna call run timer. And we want every second. Okay. What else do I want? I kind of have this breakdown in here. I'll link this in the description below so you can see it as well, okay? So this is done. When it reaches 0, play the sound. Okay, we can take this off later. So this will run the timer, right? Else main button inner HTML will be equal to start, right? And then we want to stop the timer. To stop the timer, we want to do clear interval. And we want to clear this one here. So you see this will change from start to pause, right? This button here. Okay. Now we need to create this function in here. Function run timer. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to have this to be running down, counting down. So this is work minutes, this is work seconds. WM, WS. Break minutes, break seconds. BM, BS, right? So if work minutes inner HTML equals to, no, does not equal to 0, right? So work minutes must not equal to 0, and work seconds inner HTML is equal to 0. So this condition when it's kind of in a stasis, like 5-0, right? When that happens, what we want to do is we want to have work minute inner HTML -1, and then work seconds inner HTML should be equal to 59. Okay. So every time it becomes, for example, 4-0, it will minus it to 3 and make work seconds 59. Now here's a very, very important part. Else, if work seconds inner HTML does not equal to 0, we want to do work seconds inner HTML -. So once this becomes, for example, 459, work seconds are no longer equal to 0, it starts to minus it, right? So watch. Oh, whoops. We start, you see? Right, so the first condition was met. So work minutes inner HTML was not equal to 0, when it was 5, and then work seconds inner HTML was equal to 0. So it ran this function here. Once it changed to 4 and this became 59, this is no longer the case. It is running this now, so it's minusing a second. You see? Right? You see it's running. Okay, now we need to do another one, which is what happens if both of them become 0. So we do if work minutes inner HTML is equal to 0 and work seconds inner HTML is equal to 0. Right? What do you want to do? We want to run this timer here, which is going to be exactly the same as running this timer, only we change everything to break. Okay. So now let's change this from seconds to like super seconds, right? Because in milliseconds, 1000 is 1 second. So let's just change it to super seconds and let's see if this is going to work. Okay, good. So the next condition is what's going to happen if all of them become 0. So if work minutes inner HTML is equal to 0 and work seconds inner HTML is equal to 0 and break minutes inner HTML is equal to 0 and break seconds inner HTML is equal to 0. So the first thing we want to do is we want to change this button from, because at the moment it's we want to change to start. We can actually take it from here, you see, and we want to stop the timer, which is this, this code in here. Okay. So that changes this to start, changes this to stops the timer, and then we want to change this back to 5 and this back to 3. So work minute inner HTML equals to 5. Work break minute inner HTML is equal to 3. Okay. I think we want to also play the sound. Yeah. Audio.play. That's how you play the sound. Okay, so let's test it. Okay. So we can run. Oh, I made a mistake in here. Okay, good. So the next thing we want to look after is status.
5-minute warning.
So we want status, right? So status needs to change. If it's running, it's running, and if it's paused, it's paused, right? So we want to change from in here. We want to have status inner HTML equals to pause. And then we want in here. So when the timer is running, it should be called running. And when it's paused, it should be paused like this. So let's make sure that this changes when we click. Running, paused, running, paused. Okay, good. What else do we need? Oh, we need cycles. Okay, so every time a cycle is fully completed, it should add +1. Okay, so this will be condition when everything reaches 0. We want to add 1 to cycles. How did I call cycles? Cycles. There you go. So cycles, inner HTML++. Alright, okay. Let's test it. This should turn to 1. Yeah. Okay, good. So then we want to have a display. So this should show what is running. It's either work or break. Oh guys, I hope I'm not confusing you. I hope I'm not confusing you. Anyway, if you get confused over something, just let me know. Because you see, like, I remember when I was doing this, I had to learn every single thing individually. Like, the best thing to do if you're getting confused is to pause the video and then just like figure out, okay, what does it mean to set interval, right? And the way you do that is to go here and then code stack is pretty good, or you can JavaScript, right? You see? And then literally make exercises out of this and then practice it until you really get it, right? And then do for everything in here. Okay, what does it mean to target something by inner HTML? JavaScript. Do you see? Now this website is exceptionally good. Like, I'd say it's definitely top notch. This one is very good. Free Code Camp is good, and Code Stack, Stack Overflow is very good as well. But I'll make a separate video on how to learn coding later. Okay, so where did I stop? I wanted to have the display running. So display running should be in here. So we want, what did I call display? Time display. So time display, inner HTML.
1 minute remains.
Will be equal to what is going to be equal to? It's going to be equal to, that's a template, literal, I think this is called. So you can use variables as a string. This will be our work minutes, inner HTML, right? And then we need our work seconds, inner HTML. And because it's running every second, you want to put it into pretty much everything. This one here.
Retribution.
I have some Unreal sounds for motivation, so sorry. You know Unreal Tournament? It's like when you play the game, there are a lot of cool sounds like dominating, rampage. So every time I use a Pomodoro clock myself, so you can see it in here. You see? I built it for myself. So every time it runs a set, it gives me a Unreal sound for motivation. It's very nice. Like this is why I like programming, is you can make your everyday life awesome with programming, because you can gamify everything. You can build apps that will help you, like copy and paste tools, you know, like extensions yourself, which is very, very cool. It's a cool way to live your life when you understand programming. Okay, so I went on slant, so now we copy and pasted this thing in here, and we need to change this to break minutes and break seconds. So now this will reflect whatever is either in here. Once this finishes, it will go to here. I'll show you, right? To start, you see? So at the moment, it is running this and this. Okay, you see? It's reflecting. Now it's running this. Because it is in here now. So that's why we have break minutes and break seconds. Okay? Okay. Okay, so when it finishes, it should go back to 5. So we need to put this into this condition here. So this will be our time display in our HTML equals to 5. Okay, so now this should be fixed. Oh, whoopsie. No, that does not look good at all. It should be better. Yeah, it's better. Okay. I think that's pretty much it. The only thing we need to do is we need to fix the reset button, I think, right? Yeah. So let's do reset button function, reset, like this. So when you click on reset, what should happen? We should definitely start the timer. Main button should go to this. Yeah. Honestly, we can just copy and paste the entire code in here. Yeah, we can just... The only exception, we need to make status in our HTML. We need to make cycle 0, right? So we need to change this code here. Let's see. Oh, I did not connect the button. My apologies. So reset on click equals reset, like this. Yeah, I think that's it. That's about it. I just tick the boxes. Work 3 minutes, break 2 minutes, done. Upper limit 5 minutes, lower limit 0. So this is our these things here. Display label, so it's either running or paused. Visible timer, this is this thing here. Start button in a single click. Start pause, okay. Play sound when work reaches 0, that's done. Pause the sound and reset. So if I click reset, it will pause the sound, okay. So this will be like this, audio.pause. Now, an audio refers to the name audio, this one here. If this was named sound, you should write sound pause. Right, so this is the syntax, pause. Alright, this is done. Set limit, cannot exceed, that's done. Stops every cycle, does not run continuously, done. That's it. So that's the code. And if you have any questions, just feel free to remember, remember to kind of ask it in the comments. And remember to like and subscribe, because I'll be posting more videos, and if you have any questions, and you can always ask me. Alright, take care.